Hello, Eagles. We hope you had a stellar week, and welcome to the third episode of the Avion. If this is your first time joining us, you may recognize us from our print issues and photography around the community. However, we're now branching out into a new outlet.
Yes, and if you missed last week's episode, you can find it on the Avion YouTube channel.
That's right. All this semester's broadcasts are going to be in a dedicated playlist.
It's really so easy to find.
Last week, we heard from Celine talking about something we don't often hear about in the College of Engineering. However, we're going to take it back to Abby Spencer, who will be breaking down something in the aviation industry.
Thanks, Drew. Are you trying to stop travel but still save money? Well, then Frontier's new Summer Pass is your answer. According to USA Today, the Go Wild All-You-Can-Fly Summer Pass is now on the market for $399. The New York Post explains that passengers are able to fly as much as they want from May 2nd through September 30th, 2023. This pass is similar to Frontier's yearly flight pass, which is sold for $999. There is, of course, a bit of a catch to this. Passengers will need to pay 1 cent upon booking, along with the associated taxes and fees. Oh, and seat selection and bags are not included, so time to fork up some extra cash for that. There is also a list of blackout dates available on Frontier's website. Domestic flights can be booked a day before departure, and international flights can be booked up to 10 days before departure. So if you get a little bit anxious about having that confirmed seat weeks before departure, this pass is not for you. So is this actually a good deal? It will be interesting to see how well it will sell and if it will improve Frontier's load factors. Thanks, back to you.
Thank you, Abby. That is something I definitely will look into getting.
Same here. I definitely know I want to travel more this summer, but let's just go and see the weather. Last week it was a bit rainy and a little on the cooler side, so I'm definitely looking forward to see what this week has in store.
That's why we have our chief meteorologist, or as I like to say, our weather wizard, to tell us what it's going to be like. Danielle?
I guess I'm a weather wizard now. Hi, I'm Danielle Van Pelt, your chief meteorologist. Let's discuss the weather this week, and let me use my magic powers, I guess, and flip through the forecast this week. You may have heard Jacob Rainerson, our studio meteorologist, saying that things were going to start cooling down this past weekend, which they did, but things this week are going to be warming back up. Right now here in Daytona Beach, we do have a temperature of 67 degrees. Some clouds in the sky. Our dew point 37, so not much moisture in the air right now. We do have winds coming from the northeast, so they are bringing those winds from the north, bringing them down south, bringing us those much colder temperatures, but those winds are going to start coming in from the south, bringing us the warm temperatures from the south. For our almanac, we do have our normal high, normal low. Normal high for around this time of the season is 71 degrees, normal low being 50. Things are going to start warming up this week, reaching the mid-80s. Our record is 84. I wonder if we can beat that this week. I hope. Let's find out. Record low is 29. I can't imagine Daytona Beach ever being that cold. I would hate it. But good thing it is not. Warm week this week. For our average temperatures, if you are heading out of town this weekend for President's Day weekend, Speed Week, or just going to be watching the Thunderbirds here locally, we do have some interesting weather. Things are warm throughout the week, but you may notice that things are going to start cooling down, especially on Saturday. Daytona Beach 56. If you are heading to Orlando this upcoming weekend, we do have a temperature of 59, so might want to consider bringing that jacket and hoodie. But on Sunday, things are going to start warming back up again into Monday, into further along the week. But Jacob will mention that to you guys on Monday when he's on. For our 7-day forecast, Monday, 69, 70, some sun in the sky. Tuesday, Wednesday, things are warming up. Thursday, Friday is going to be the hottest day, 84, which is our record. I wonder if it's going to surpass it. Saturday, things are going to cool down with some clouds in the sky, not much moisture, 68. Sunday, things are warming back up once again. So honestly, Drew Tucker, do take advantage of the weekend. Go watch the Thunderbirds, go to Speed Week, and enjoy the 3-day weekend. Drew Tucker, back to you.
Thank you, Danielle. It seems like there's going to be some interesting weather this week.
That's for sure. And with that, why don't we transition it over to our SGA reporter, Aki?
It's the season of love, and what better way to enjoy the holiday known for the pink hearts and red roses than with the SGA? On February 14th, in honor of Valentine's Day, the Avion will be putting on one of their lovely photo booths, and if you happen to come by, there may be a chance to earn some bonus bucks. There's no date needed to participate. The holiday of love can be shared among your closest friends. If you got a special someone back home, the Avion will also be running a table where you can create a postcard to send to the people you love. Continuing on with the loving trend, later that week is Random Acts of Kindness Day, with special kindness kits being given away in the student union. Finally, if you're looking for a date night idea that'll save you some gas, try checking out on Friday's Skyline Social. The The social on February 17th will be a bingo night, and if you're lucky, you could win some cool prizes for the special people in your life. This is only a sample of what the campus has in store for this love-filled season, but if you keep an eye out, there may be a little ant named Clyde Morris bringing you the gift of laughter in the future. And even though it's the season of love, don't forget that if you're interested in running for the SGA, packets for the SGA elections are available on February 15th.
Thank you, Aki, and I can't wait to make it to the Valentine's Day event. And speaking of that, you might know him as the chairperson of Touch and Go Productions and also the homecoming king from this past fall. Welcome, Brad.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Anytime. Thanks for coming on. Can you tell me more about Touch and Go and what y'all do?
Of course. Well, Touch and Go Productions is the student-run programming board and production company of ERIU. What we do is we provide the ERIU community with a variety of different entertainment options, ranging from live music, magic shows, interactive experiences, movie nights, novelty giveaways, and so much more. The big one that most people know us for is our homecoming concert, but we've got plenty of other events going on throughout the semester. Aside from putting on our own events, we also support RSO events. So if your organization wants to put on an event using our equipment, we can provide lights, sound, and staging. Touch and Go also happens to be a division of the SGA, which means all of our services are completely free to students to use. Lastly, all of our members are 100% volunteers. So students that enjoy putting on events, they just come out, we put out everything ourselves, and it's a lot of fun. We're always looking for new members, so if you're interested in learning anything else about event programming or production, such as lighting, sound, security, hospitality, marketing, and so much more, there's always something for you to get involved in with Touch and Go Productions.
Thank you for that rundown of what y'all do. And what has been your favorite memory so far as a chairperson or just in general?
That's a tough question, but I've honestly got to give it to it's a tie really. There's two events that I've gone to throughout my time here at Riddle, and they're both homecoming concerts that are my top two. During my freshman year, it was actually the reason I got involved with Touch and Go. We were having AJR as our concert artist. They're one of my all-time favorite bands, and that show was just fantastic. This past year, though, we had Fits in the Tantrums with Plain White Tees as their special guest. And as chairperson, I had the opportunity to be directly involved with every step of that planning process. It was one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had, and actually ended up being one of our most attended events we've ever had as well. So thank you to everyone who came out.
That's awesome. I definitely love the concert. And is there any other fun events that are coming up this semester?
Absolutely. Well, we've got events going the entire time, and I'd love to run through every single one with you, but I'll just give you a couple to look forward to. Actually, tomorrow we'll be having our annual Stuff a Plush event where we bring in a bunch of stuffed animals that students can stuff themselves for Valentine's Day. We'll be handing out eagles, dinosaurs, rhinos, and bears in the Union Commons from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. while supplies last. So make sure you stop by and get yours. As for a bigger event to look forward to, we're actually right in the depth of planning our big show for the semester. I can't say too much about the specifics of the performers right now, but I can tell you that on March 26th, we'll be putting on the first ever Eaglepalooza Music Festival, featuring both local and national talent. So get excited for that. We're hoping this festival can rival the fall concert, so I hope to see you all there. And be sure to follow at ERIU Touch and Go on Instagram to get updates about our performers as we get closer to the show date.
Definitely excited for the Valentine's Day event as well as the music festival coming up in March. But before we go, is there any advice that you would give to anybody watching?
This is going to bring out my O-team captain side, but the obvious bit for me is just to go out and get involved on campus. Touch and Go Production puts on plenty of events throughout the semester, but if entertainment isn't your fancy, there are also a bunch of other organizations and departments that put on all sorts of events. So if you're thinking about it, just go out and join that club, go to that event, and make those memories.
Thank you so much, Brad, for taking some time out of your very busy schedule and telling everyone what's going on with Touch and Go.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Now, I initially don't look like a sports person, but once you get past that, you'll see that I love to hear what is going on with the sports world. Thankfully, we have someone to help us out with that. Owen?
Hey everyone, this is Owen, your Senior Chief Sports Reporter, and it is great to see you all again as the craziest of the Embry-Riddle and National Athletics ensue. Not surprisingly, we had a big day yesterday, and we're looking at some pretty exciting events coming up. Before I say anything else, how was everyone's Sunday night? I'm sure you guys attended or hosted some epic Super Bowl parties. Let us know what you guys did. Now, we need to take a moment to respect the plays and actions made last night at the Super Bowl, because it was quite a game. Even though the Bengals weren't there, it was clearly an impressive display of skill and a great way to continue our year. And don't be sad that this football season is over either. There's so much more coming up, starting with the Embry-Riddle lacrosse teams. On Wednesday the 15th, our women's lacrosse teams will be competing against Young Harris College. We can't wait to see how it goes. I also heard some track and field action going on later this week, so stay up to date by tuning into the live streams. For more information, you can check out Embry-Riddle's athletics website. I think that's all for me, but let's see if we have anything else from the lads.
We hope that the team that you rooted for won the Super Bowl. If not, there's always next year. Thank you, Owen, for sharing the details.
Anyway, that concludes this week's episode of the Avion. I'm Andrew Harker.
And I'm Tucker Lettinen. Make sure you check out all the events that are coming up. Have a wonderful week.